We are back with an additional influx of awesome monsters from the magical mind of Canada's finest horror artist. Trevor Henderson doesn't miss, and he's constantly putting new creatures into the world. So if you like what you see, make sure to check out his social media website, maybe buy a print or a shirt. Sure, you'd scare away the uninitiated in public, but those who know, know. So let's get to it. The top 5 newest Trevor Henderson Creatures 2021, part 4. Before we begin, we've got a message from today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Well, here it is. Raid's dropped off this package for me. I gotta wonder what's inside. Oh, it's a hound spawn. I think I might name him Spike. Oh, good boy, buddy. Look at that. Well, if you're looking for monsters, but like it a little better when you can smite them, look no further. From the Ice Golem to the Demon Lord to all of the creepy crawlies infesting the Doom Tower, Raid has a smorgasbord of scary opponents to fight. And if that isn't enough, there's always a few million opponents you can take on in the online arena. With millions of customizable combinations, including interchangeable champions, equipment, and skills, you can get out there and raid your way. What I really like about Raid is that it has an absolutely enormous roster of unique champions. I love going to the tavern to test my luck when summoning from a few shards. The crackle when they break is just so satisfying. Plus, joining a clan gives you a chance to take on the clan boss, which is always exciting. There's always something new to do in Raid, too. They've recently released 11 brand new champions and 200 varied missions to complete, and the reward is pretty substantial, too. And if that's not enough, they also added 5 tough new levels to almost every single dungeon in the game. So what are you waiting for? Go to the description, click on our links, and support the channel by downloading Raid today. Right on. Let's get to our list. Coming in at number 5, Night Shift. Keep your eyes wide open, folks, or is it the wide-eyed open eyes that are staying open? I'm not entirely sure, but what I do know is that this creature is totally terrifying. Just look at it floating there, keeping a watchful eye over this gas station late at night. There's a special quality to convenience stores after midnight, that's for sure, but something tells me it's probably better to wait till morning if this thing's around. Based on a very strange sticker seen in front of a bunch of pre-made sandwiches, Night Shift seems to hover over everything, ensuring nobody removes merchandise without paying for it. You know, because anything else would be considered theft. The more you know. What I'm worried about, though, isn't being accused of theft or even being caught red-handed. I'm worried about what this organ-dripping square will do if it finds out about any of that. Goodness gracious, this thing is horrid. Pictured floating between the aisles seemingly after hours, there's an eerie quality to this supernatural security guard. The longer you look at it, the more grotesque details stick out. There's the glassy, all-seeing eyes that remind me equally of doll's eyes and something from a surreal bit on late-night Adult Swim. There's the fact that nothing natural should ever have lines that straight, which is cause enough to be alarmed. And of course, what's up with the viscera dripping out of the lower end? I'm not so sure I want to find out what causes that or what it's made of. And what happens if it gets closer to the ground? Does it drag along, leaving a wet trail of slime and blood? I'm getting the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. According to Trevor, this thing actually likes to shoplift itself, so maybe it won't come after you if you decide to be a little criminal. However, I think running into it at a closed shop is probably a bad omen. All in all, I'd say avoid the late night SIG shopping and definitely don't go back to work after hours for any reason. The overtime isn't worth potentially coming face to face with these eyes without a face. Yowza. Coming in at number 4, we've got the Phantom. The Phantom of the Opera has recently undergone a PR overhaul. What was once a hideous, deformed man hiding in the walls of a famous theater became, well, Gerard Butler, but with a bit of burning behind the mask. Very sexy, lots of appeal, but missing most of the terror that should probably accompany such a character. Thankfully, there are plenty of folks online willing to dream up a more monstrous version of the iconic Phantom. Take Trevor's render of the operatic fellow. Now this is a movie I would watch. In his own words, he just wanted the Phantom to be way more of a gross creep. Isn't that something that would make most movies better? Just the addition of more gross creeps? Maybe that's just my preference. Moving on, we've got 2 versions of Mr. Phantom here, one with the mask on and another with the facial covering removed, and these days and times, what could be more upsetting, right? Without the mask is obviously very creepy, with gray, rotten flesh and a dead white eye. The grimace and greasy locks of hair really pull it all together. This is someone that would really cause a ruckus by revealing their true visage, but the masked version is also quite creepy. There seems to be a bit of a theme of masks in Trevor's work lately, and that works really well. The uncanny valley quality of a rough, homemade mask is enough to send many shivers down many spines. The dead, unblinking eye, the crack down the side, the extra red lips framing the constantly open mouth. There's a lot to take in here. So next time you hear that iconic organ playing, see which version of the Phantom pops into your head. Coming at number 3, we've got the patron saint of getting lost in sprawling department stores and malls. A little wordy, I know, but it's just so fun to say. I suppose that you could also refer to this creature as the Stranger, but that's just not quite as fun. We talked about a similar creature last time, and it's very possible that this is actually the very same entity. However, it is a new rendition that frames our furniture warehouse wandering pal as a patron saint, which seems to make it even more upsetting. It'll watch over all who wander in the seemingly endless halls of abandoned retail establishments. Department stores were having a rough time before the pandemic, and I'm sure if I was to visit a closed one now, it would be even more shiver-inducing. There's a lot going on with this creature with its quasi-papier-mâché head, painted-on eyes, and extremely human hands. Was it once human, or is it just taking on the form of those it seems to follow? We may never know. If you look beneath the post in which Trevor introduces this fellow, you'll find a new possibility that you might not like. Under that big round head, there could be a set of awful teeth surrounded by raw, red flesh. Is there a whole new visage underneath? And is it worth it to try and find out? Coming in at number 2, Friend. What do you think? Is this Nugget, this adorable little scamp that fell off the back of Big Charlie and grew into a fun friend? Or is this one a little too red, a little too off-center? It's hard to say for sure, but I think I like him. After all, he is a friend, a small creature, something to be cherished and shared with others. While the creature itself may have been seen before, this is a brand new drawing of it, complete with a little scratchy caption letting everyone know exactly what it is. So keep an eye out for anything like this in your vicinity, because you could forge a valuable bond. And finally at number 1, Bridgeworm returns. To cap off our list, let's take another look at a new rendition of a classic Henderson monster, the Bridgeworm. This underpass dweller loves to lure people in with a false face before revealing its true form. The visage it presents to the world kinda reminds me of Strong Sad, and would probably convince me to come and help it out. Why so sad, little buddy? But once you buy into that tragic narrative, it's lights out. Look what happens. Before? After. Oh god. The first wet face is a little unsettling, but nothing too bad. But once it pulls back and shows you its true form, that's nightmares for weeks. Months, probably. There's just something about the raw, bloody nature of its face flesh that really gets the skin crawling, and those teeth. Jeez Louise. Don't get me started on its bulbous eyes. There's something about it that makes me think it's like constantly in the most amount of pain imaginable, and that it's also been given some really shocking news. But neither of these are true, because all it wants is to eat you under a bridge. Monsters are in steady supply, that's for sure. I know we've focused a lot on Trevor's work in the past few videos, and for good reason, but see if you can find even more horror artists out there making work that resonates with you. The more folks we have making and sharing awesome art, the better, right? So let me know what you think about today's list down in the comments, and also share the names of some of your favorite horror artists. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more salacious ones from part 3. Teeny B says, you know what's worse than the ghosts of a former worker hiding out the ceiling above your desk? Being stuck at the office even after you've already died. Well, what's worse though is being stuck in an office while you're alive, and like you kind of like know you're alive and you could be doing something else, or being there when you're like long dead and then you've kind of just got to be stuck there forever. They each provide you with a unique kind of purgatory. DMB Land says, maybe push the pause button before doing a part 4, give poor Trevor a chance to catch up and make more monsters first. Well, we did fight enough for today's video, but we'll take that under consideration for part 5 for sure. Jake Broster says, if you want to see a movie killer in a fencing outfit, check out the classic movie Theater of Blood. Vincent Price dons a fencing outfit to try and take down the cop that's after him. Includes a great trampoline jump in the fight choreography XD. You can never go wrong with Vincent Price, right? Faulty Gear says, oh wow, awesome shirt. I would love to support my favorite artist, but I have the worst luck. Whenever I try to buy some merchandise, it's already sold out. Well, I think Trevor's got some stuff on his Teespring that's pretty much always there, so check it out. And that's all the time we have for today. I'm gonna go walk barefoot around an abandoned construction site. Thanks again to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Keep your eyes wide open, folks, or is it the wide open eyes that, nope. What? Or is it the wide open eyes? There's, I don't know. Well, I don't know what the hell I wrote there. That's weird. It's a weird thing to write. The overtime is not worth potentially coming face to face to the... The overtime definitely isn't worth potentially coming face... Nope.